I don't care who you are, getting fired is tough.
Oh, for Ray Perkins. I'll tell you, when I was a kid growing up in Tampa, they had Dump McKay in the Bay. Last week we saw Dump Ray in the Bay. I think whoever's the next coach should make sure his name doesn't rhyme with Bay. Still things, you know, it's funny. A coach can be fired for losing, yet go out a winner. But if you know the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that shouldn't sound funny at all. Ray Perkins was fired today, ending a 4-year soap opera with the Bucs that at times could best have been titled The Young and the Winless. Eager to put back-to-back 2-14 seasons under Lehman Bennett behind them, the Bucs plucked Ray Perkins from the University of Alabama on New Year's Eve 1986. His new team's first game did not set the tone for the games to follow. A 48-10 pasting of the Falcons helped Tampa Bay get off to a 4-3 start, but 8 straight losses to end the year left the Bucs at 4-11. The 1988 team started slowly and never picked up speed. A 41-14 shredding at the hands of the Eagles was the first of 8 losses in the season's first 10 games. This time, though, they finished strongly, winning half of their last 6 games and giving Perkins a happy, although wet, send-off into 1989. A 3-2 beginning gave Buck fans more high hopes for that season, but losing 9 of their last 11 games, Tampa Bay finished with 11 losses for the 3rd straight year. And in 1990, stop me if you've heard this one before, a fast start followed by a long losing streak. The Buccaneers were 4-2 and tied for first place in the NFC Central when the Cowboys came back in the final seconds in Week 7 and beat them 17-13. That started a losing streak that week after week took its toll on the players, the fans, and the coach.
It's not a lot of fun. It's not a lot of fun getting your kicked a couple of weeks in a row.
Not to mention 6 weeks in a row, which is where the streak stood as the Falcons came to town yesterday. A last-minute touchdown pass from Vinny Testaverde to Mark Carrier gave Tampa Bay a 23-17 win. Little did Ray Perkins know at the time he would go out exactly as he came in, with a win over Atlanta. The record, as they say, speaks for itself. Other than one playoff year with the Giants, Perkins had a losing mark in 7 of his 8 seasons in the NFL.
The reason for the change is not because of Ray Perkins. It's strictly we haven't had a winning season in 4 years, period.
And now, Culverhouse says he wants Perkins to stay with the Bucs in some capacity, but assistant Richard Williamson will take over as Tampa Bay's interim head coach. Now, so far, there have been no rumors about who might be considered as the permanent coach, but how about this for a name? Howard Schnellenberger. You know, he's never going to do better at Louisville than he did this year, and he left the University of Miami on top to take a pro job back in 1984. Just something to think about. Something else to think about. Perkins wasn't the only big-name coach who got the axe today. The Knicks said see you to Stu Jackson, just 15 games and a 7-8 record into the NBA season. He's been replaced by John McLeod, who was fired 11 games into last season by the Dallas Mavericks, but he has more than 500 career coaching wins. And Vanderbilt University, coming off its 2nd straight 1-10 football season, fired Coach Watson Brown and replaced him with Colorado assistant Jerry DiNardo. Now, DiNardo will be leaving the nation's top-ranked football program for one of its worst. Colorado's on top of the AP poll for the 3rd straight week, and Georgia Tech is still number 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at this week's AP poll. There you see Tech number 2, Texas, Miami, and Notre Dame follow. The Blockbuster Bowl should be, well, I don't know, a blockbuster. 6th-ranked Florida State against number 7 Penn State. Houston, Washington, and Tennessee also made the top 10, but Florida fell to 11th. BYU fell 9 spots to 13. 16 through 20 has Illinois, Iowa, Louisville, Nebraska, and Oklahoma, and it's Southern Cal, Michigan State, Southern Mississippi, Ohio State, and Alabama in the final regular season top 25. So bring on the bowls. That's how they'll go now. We've got 19 bowls between now and January 1st.
All right, thanks.